first pick?
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't. In that situation, I can't put the ball in jeopardy. It's being up 3, kind of backed up in our own territory at like 10 or something like that. At the end of the day, I just can't. I can't do that. I should have probably just ate the sack and just give the punt team a chance to, flip the field. But all credit goes to the defense on that. They came out, held them to a field goal, and gave us a chance to go down and win the game the next drive.
How are you able to come back from that though and throw a dime like that for the game-winning score? How are you able to do that?
I mean, I think it starts with all the support I have here, whether it's teammates or coaches. I couldn't ask for a better group of people to be around as a support system. And at the end of the day, stuff happens. You have to flush it. You can't dwell on the past. I mean, at the end of the day, we had another opportunity to go out there and win the game, and we just did just that. And that's why we play football, to have opportunities like that to go down and win a game.
How did it feel to make that throw in that situation?
I mean, it just felt good overall, just because we missed a couple of the deeper shots earlier in the game. Obviously, at most throws, my goal is just to allow the receiver to touch the ball, allow them to come down with it, make a play after the catch, or pass interference on the defense so we can move the chains again. And luckily, I mean, Dre made a fantastic catch. It was pretty good coverage, honestly, but Dre made a really good catch and then was able to stay in bounds and take it the rest of the way.
Drew, did you prove anything?
Drew, can you take us through the way that play unfolded from when it's called on the sideline? Do you have different options there? Because everybody's wondering, why isn't he taking deep shots? But it sounds as if there may have been things that you've had earlier that you decided to go in other directions.
Yeah, I mean, that was the second time we ran that play, actually. The first time was the one where I missed it to McLean on the post in the end zone. I missed that one. So that was actually the second time we ran that play. But on that play, honestly, I just saw Indiana kind of being aggressive. They cover one, and the cover one safety was pretty low, and that's how they kind of play as a team with their post safety. So I knew that I had two good options. I had Dre on the slot fade, and then I had I think McLean was in again on the backside post. So my first option was Dre, and he won. So I just gave him a chance, and the rest happened.
Drew, does having a moment like that, is it more satisfying in the context of what the past 7 days have been like for you?
I don't know if it's more satisfying. I think it's just, I think it was just great resiliency from not only the offense today, but the defense and special teams. I mean, we were not perfect in any phase today, and I mean, we're the first to admit that. Definitely not as clean as we would have liked on the offensive end, but at the end of the day, we found a way to win. And I mean, Indiana's a tough opponent. Their record may not show it, but they play tough, they play hard, they play fast and physical, and they're going to play the whole game no matter what the score is. And that showed today. I mean, they got great players up front on their D-line. And, I mean, it's just great to bounce back from last week with this one.
What makes Keandre Lambert-Smith such a clutch receiver for you?
I think it's just his mentality, really. I think Dre and all of our receivers really have that mentality that they want the ball in their hands in those sorts of situations, and they're going to come down with it no matter what. And I think Dre represents that. That's what makes him good in those moments.
Drew, after the interception, you come back to the sideline. What's going on? What are you thinking about at that moment? What's going on in your head after that throw?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know I threw an interception until I got to the sideline because I got hit, and I didn't even usually you hear the crowd react, but honestly there was no reaction to it. So honestly, I thought it was just an incomplete pass or something, and then I look back and the defense is out on the field. I'm like, oh, I really just threw an interception right there. But after that happened, I mean, just flush it, move on. Like I said earlier, defense did a great job of going out, holding those to the field goal, backed up, and giving us another opportunity to go down and win the game.
Can that be somewhat of a relief to you that you threw it, that you don't have this, and everybody's saying he hasn't thrown an interception, I mean, now that it's done and you bounce back, can that kind of take pressure off in a way?
No, I mean, to me, all that talk is kind of weird because I'm just gonna, I shouldn't have thrown that ball out at the end of the day, but I'm not gonna not be aggressive to to not throw an interception. That's not what you have to do at quarterback. You have to take what's there, and sometimes you do have to be aggressive. Sometimes it comes back to bite you, like it did for me today. But I don't think it relieved any pressure or anything like that.
Drew, your first two.
You know, we talked to you last week after the game. You're pretty upset. How were you able to kind of flush out the last game, and what were some of those meetings, conversations, and film sessions?
Yeah, so for me, any game, no matter the result, no matter how good I played or how bad I played, I take Saturday night to like reflect on it, and then early in the Sunday morning, and then as soon as we get to the practice, I flip the switch to the next opponent. So I kind of put last week behind me on Sunday evening, I guess, and just focused all my energy towards Indiana because we knew this was a tough team, and they have a great scheme defensively, and they got a lot of players out there that can play.
Drew, obviously Brad's a busy guy, but did you two communicate over the past week? And if so, what were those conversations like?
We communicate on pretty much like a daily to every other day basis. It's not always about football, but he was here today, so I was able to catch up with him a little bit in person at least before the game. And then the conversations are just kind of about bouncing back and fundamentals and footwork and just other stuff going on in the world.
It's only a